The changes or the transformations we can apply to the matrices are called as elementary transformations. The changes or the transformations, if applied only to the rows of a matrix, then those are called as elementary row transformations. In other words, in the transformations, if it involves only rows of a matrix, then we call it as row transformations. If the transformations are applied only to the columns of a matrix, those are called as column transformations. Here we shall be discussing elementary row transformations. Of course, row transformations or column transformations are similar. Only the change is you can replace the word row by column. So we shall discuss about elementary transformations. We use three types of elementary transformations. One is we may multiply by a non-zero constant to every element of a row. That is, suppose we want to multiply by a number 3 to every element of a first row. We denote it by 3R1, 3 into big R with the subscription 1, 3R1. That means we are multiplying by 3 to every element of R1. So R1 is changing to 3R1. That is, every element of R1 will be multiplied by 3. Second type of row transformation is we may interchange any two rows of a matrix. That is, we may change the second row to third row and third row to the second row. That is, we may write R2 as R3 and R3 as R2. We write it as R3 double implication R2. So third type of elementary transformation is we may multiply by a non-zero constant to every element of a row and add it to the corresponding elements of another row. Suppose we are multiplying by 4 to R1, that is, we are multiplying by a number 4 to every element of R1 and we are adding the corresponding elements to R3. We write it as R3 plus 4R1. In other words, if I write R3 plus 4R1, here the third row is changing and it is changing by multiplying by 4 to the corresponding elements of R1 and adding all the elements to the corresponding elements of R3. So these three types of row transformations we use. The one is we may multiply by a non-zero constant to every element of a row, and the second one is we may interchange any two rows, and the third one is we may multiply by non-zero constant to every element of a row and add it to the corresponding elements of another row. So let us take such examples. Let us consider a matrix A is equal to 1, 2, 3 as the first row, 4, 5, 6 in the second row and 1, 0, 1 in the third row. Now apply one row transformation. Let us write it as R2 plus 4R1. R2 plus 4R1. That means we are changing the second row R2 by adding 4 times of R1. Here I am considering a transformation R2 minus 4R1, R2 minus 4R1, that is we are multiplying by minus 4 to every element of R1 and adding it to the corresponding elements of R2. So R2 is changing. In earlier cases we note that R2 has 4, 5, 6 in the second row. If we multiply by minus 4 to the elements of 4 R1 and add it to the corresponding elements of R2, what we get? Minus 4 into 1 plus 4, that becomes 0, and here minus 4 into 2 minus 8 plus 5, it becomes minus 3, and here minus 4 into 3 minus 12 plus 6, that becomes minus 6. So R1 will remain as it is, so that is 1, 2, 3, but R2 is changed as 0, minus 3, minus 6 instead of 4, 5, 6. And R3, the third row, we are not applying any transformation, so it is written as it is, 1, 0, 1. Let us consider another transformation to the same matrix. We are applying R3 minus R1, that is now we are changing the third row by subtracting the elements of R1 from the corresponding elements of R3. What I told? We are subtracting the elements of R1 from the corresponding elements of R3. So first one row is written as it is, 1, 2, 3 as it is. The second row is also written as it is, 4, 5, 6, but R3 is changing. From R3 we are subtracting the corresponding elements of R1. So 1 minus 1, it becomes 0, 0 minus 2, it becomes minus 2, and 1 minus 3, it becomes minus 2. So the third will be 0, minus 2, minus 2. One important application of row transformation is we can reduce the given matrix to echelon form, and then we count the number of non-zero rows in the echelon form, that gives the rank of the matrix. So here we use the same technique. We first reduce the given matrix to echelon form by applying row transformations, and then by counting the number of non-zero rows in the echelon form we can determine the rank of the matrix. So let us consider the matrix A is equal to 1, 2, minus 3 in the first row, 3, minus 1, plus 1 in the second row, 5, 3, 2 in the third row. So we follow a specific type of row transformation, that is we first retain the first row as it is, make the changes for R2 and R3, so that in the first column we retain A11 as it is, but A21 and A31 will be made as 0. The elements in the column 1, in the first column, A21, A31 is changed to 0, retaining the first element A11. We don't bother about the remaining elements in the second row or the third row. We only concentrate on the elements of first column of second and third row. So to make these as 0, we use the transformations R2 plus minus 3 R1. In other words, R2, the second row is changing as R2 plus minus 3 R1. So we multiply by minus 3 to the elements of R1 and add it to the second row. So 1 into minus 3 plus 3, it becomes 0. Minus 3 into 2 minus 6 minus 1, it becomes minus 7, and minus 3 into minus 3, that becomes plus 9, and plus 1, it becomes 10. So in the second row we have 0, minus 7, plus 10 instead of 3, minus 1, 1. Similarly, for the third row we have to make this 5 as 0, So we'll be using R3 minus 5R1. It may be written as R3 plus 5 minus 5 into R1. So multiply by minus 5 to the elements of R1 and add it to the elements of R3. So minus 5 into 1, minus 5 plus 5, it becomes 0. Minus 10 plus 3, it becomes minus 7. And similarly minus 15 minus, it is plus 15 plus 2, that becomes 17. So in the third row we have 0, minus 7 plus 17. Now after the reducing second row, we retain first and second row as it is. Now we apply the transformation to the third row, that is third row will be changed as R3 minus R2. R3 minus R2. Our intention is reduce the given matrix to echelon form. So we use this technique. We retain the second row as it is and reduce the third row. So we are applying the transformation R3 minus R2. In other words, from the elements of R3, we are subtracting the corresponding elements of R2. So 0 minus 0, it becomes 0. Minus 7, minus of minus 7. Again it becomes 0. And 17 minus 10, it becomes 7. So in the third row we have 0, 0, 7. Now you count the number of non-zero rows. Non-zero row means at least one element is non-zero in that row. So here there are 3 non-zeros. R1 is also non-zero, R2 is also non-zero, and R3 is also non-zero. Therefore the rank of the given matrix A is 3.